r/AskReddit. If you caught your partner sexting, would you consider it cheating? Would it break the trust? Why or why not? I would be devastated if my so was sexting someone else. We don't even sext. It would definitely be a deal breaker. I wanna delve into this. We don't even sext bit. What's your relationship like otherwise? I only ask because I haven't sexted with my partner for a long time, if at all. I think I used to really enjoy doing it with my exes, but it's just something that neither I nor my current partner have instigated. Don't sext here. Relationship is rock solid with a healthy sex life. Plenty of flirting in person and via text. Just tame via text because we both find sexting awkward. I don't get why people sext. Just meet up and actually have sex. The answer everyone already knew, but I'm guessing Op didn't want to hear. Or Op needs to show their so as proof that literally everybody thinks that sexting is cheating. It's a bad deal for Op either way. I'm hoping that the situation is that Op's so's friend is the one in the situation. Op and SO have taken opposing sides on the topic, with the one supporting the cheater not being driven by logic, but by a sense of duty to their friend. Op is reaching out to us to settle the debate. That's less stressful to imagine. Anyway, if you wouldn't do it sitting next to them, you shouldn't do it. That's how you know there is something wrong with what you are doing. This is how I caught my ex the first time. I was playing GTA 4th and just so happened to glance at his laptop screen as he sat right fucking next to me on the damn couch and saw his sexts to several strangers. This is how I caught my ex the first time. There was a second time. You won't believe number 5. But before we get to that, a quick ad from our sponsors, followed by our honorable mentions. Sounds like emotional cheating to me, and it's hard not to physically cheat when your mind is already moving in that direction. Yes, it counts as cheating. We'll assume man finds woman cheating if you found your so in a bar. She's in some guy's lap at a table. He's got a hand on her thigh. He's been buying her drinks. She's whispering something in his ear when you walk up. Immediately, she gets defensive and starts with something like it's not what it looks like. Sexting is the same thing, just digital. Maybe you didn't catch them banging on the bathroom floor. It wasn't me, but they've definitely crossed outside the realm of acceptable social interactions. Of course it is cheating. Just a matter of time for it to manifest itself in real life. My ex did this. She said it had started only a few days prior, but she had already sent this guy online nudes with her face. She said he was married, and she didn't know where he lived. She told me she was glad I had found out before it went any further. I was just thinking, how could it have gone any further beyond you sending him nudes with your face? 8 months later she broke up with me for a guy online who lives 1100 miles away. So I guess that's how haha. Yo yeah, she never stopped doing any of that shit. The desire to even do that with other people instead of me shows me that you aren't committing to the relationship. I once had a girlfriend tell me she hooked up with another girl and that it didn't count because it was a girl. She said I was free to hook up with as many guys as I want. But I'm not bi, so you can imagine the very weird spot this put me in. Fucking broke up with her right then and there. Edit, if it wasn't obvious. I'm a straight guy and the only dick I want to see is mine. My ex decided she was polyamorous all of a sudden when she got a crush on a guy from work. Apparently massages and making out at his place doesn't count as cheating because it wasn't sex. It was a pretty great few months while I tried to convince myself I needed to leave her all while battling depression over a 6-year relationship being over suddenly. 0/10 wouldn't recommend. That's complete bullshit on her part. She just wanted to cheat and not feel guilty about doing it. Sorry bro. I considered deleting the comment before posting because usually nobody cares. So thanks for replying. It's getting better. It's been 2 years. And I still have a lot of bad nights. But hey, that's okay. If you don't want your partner to know about your interactions, then it's probably cheating. Aka Snapchat. When you could see the person's top 3 or whatever, it was even worse. My ex always had the same 3 chicks as her top 3. But the number 1 spot was replaced with another dude this one time. But she hardly Snapchatted me at all. I didn't take it well and ended up messaging the guy to tell him that she was taken. He didn't know and apologized. And I stopped seeing him on her list. But that was the first step to us ending the relationship about a month later. What happened with your exes and the dude's relationship though, after you broke up? Cheating doesn't equal sex. Cheating is betrayal of your partner's trust, loyalty, emotions, feelings, etc. Sex is a byproduct. Cheating is betrayal of your partner's trust, loyalty, emotions, feelings, etc. When I was cheated on, this is what hurt the most. Not that she was sleeping with someone else, but that someone who I gave all my love and trust to found it so easy to throw it away and lie to my face. Really does hurt when you find out they're doing that. It gives you trust issues. Over your self-esteem to GF was cheated on twice in 2 previous relationships before we got together. Can confirm the legitimate but very serious trust issues she had coming in. She grilled me the first time she saw me texting my sister, who's married and has a different last name. She was super nervous the first time she showed up at my place, unannounced with soup and Dayquil, because I was feeling sick. That time I threw all the pillows off the bed to fold laundry and forgot to remake it. It takes a long time to build up trust again. I love her and it's worth it. But a lot of times I felt like I was paying for the other guy's mistakes. I've been married to the same type for 18 years. It's better but never gone. The best test, if you would find your partner do that. You would like that? Probably not. Don't do what you don't want your soul would do to you. I feel like this sounds good in principle, but in reality, people are so different that I could totally see somebody saying that they wouldn't mind, therefore leaving you with no argument. Basing moral standards on other people's standards is a crapshoot. Edit. I've even seen people say they wouldn't mind. And they actually did. They just said it out of spite and pride. To win the argument. Or to get off the hook. Spot on. It's about understanding your partner and respecting them. You can't just assume they have the same values as you, or are unreasonable for not doing so. If you don't consider that cheating, then you seriously need to up your relationship standards. Edit. For everybody talking about the poly relationships, I'm completely fine with those. The original question states that you caught your partner cheating, which I assume means that they were doing it behind your back. Seriously, what sort of question is this? I hope the op isn't seeking validation because they are being gaslit into accepting their partner's behavior. Or vice versa. Op's silence suggests you may be right, but who knows. Caught my wife sexting 5 years ago, packed all of her stuff, and kicked her out. A few weeks later she tells me she is pregnant, and that I'm the only one she had sex with. 5 years later I'm raising my son, and arguing with her just about every day. There is not a lot I've been able to put into the relationship since that. Have you had a paternity test done? I haven't. I wanted to at first. Now I don't want to know. He looks just like me as a child, but still. You never know. There's plenty of studies suggesting that you two being unhappy together will mess up the kid even more than you two being split up. I agree with that 100% too. That's what makes it a struggle. Because doing the right thing feels wrong, and doing wrong thing feels right. Whatever babe. You know what? I'll AskReddit. And maybe you'll chill out. Reminds me of my ex. She was cheating on me, and her excuse was But babe, it's not like we had sex. I just gave him a blowjob. Those words are embedded forever now. Nothing like the thought of a little second-hand spudge every time you kissed her, until you found out. Look at the word cheating, and think of any game. Like Monopoly for example. If you're cheating, you're going against a set of rules. Some people have house rules that go against the written rules, and those are the implied rules. Although they should be stated at the beginning of each game. It doesn't always happen. But if you landed on free parking 3 times, and the next person that lands on it gets $500 from the bank, you can claim that's cheating. But if the implied house rules are you get $500 from free parking, some people might be inclined to agree one way and others the other way. In a relationship, the implied rules normally are based on monogamy, trust, faithfulness. But let's say your significant other is an Instagram model who normally interacts with her followers. You may want to discuss the house rules of your relationship or know to what extent that person interacts with her followers. If she does something that crosses the line, but is normal for her, or her line of work, interests, or hobbies, and you failed to discuss it at any point, you may be at fault for failing to do so sooner, and have no right to complain. It's like signing paperwork without reading the fine print. At which point though, you should discuss it, and come to some kind of understanding or house rules. But if you're in a seemingly commonly normal relationship, and nothing prompts this person to do such actions other than their own selfish desires, then yes, it goes against the implied rules of a relationship, and is therefore a breach of trust, and considered cheating. Officiating that you're now in a monogamous, exclusive relationship would then be comparable to going to a Monopoly convention. Their rules would be the set rules, and if you tried to argue your implied house rules there, you would be wrong. So if you catch your partner sexting someone, and an argument ensues, and their side has arguments such as I don't even know him in person, nothing has ever really happened between us. This is how I normally talk to people. It's a long time friend and we always do this. He's like 2,000 miles away. There's not even a chance something could really happen. It doesn't matter, because they're in the big league so to speak. And there are rules. And they are breaking them. And breaking-rules=CHEATING. The only thing that I consider to be an implied, unspoken house rule that applies to any relationship I'm in is that pornography use is fine, as that is something that most reasonable people find to be okay. But if I was in a relationship where it might not be okay, I would discuss it. If I had to hide it, that would be cheating. It's got sex in it. Of course it's cheating. What if I'm sharing a sextant with someone? Court implies she was hiding it. So yes, it builds distrust. Moreover, what's the endgame of sexting? You don't just stop there. It's a slippery slope to actual sex. This actually happened to me. Ex was sexting one of her PlayStation friends. We split up soon after, and I considered it not cheating physically per se. But that betrayal of trust has made its impact and still does today. If there was a conversation ahead of time or an attempt to see what my feelings would be, or even attempting to break up first would have saved me a lot of emotional grief. Yes, absolutely. It would end the relationship, since I'm not going to spend my life worried I'm being cheated on. You've reached the end. You're a star. Destroy the subscribe button for more like that.